Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, Prof. Faridah. I'm glad to meet you. Alhamdulillah.
I am struggling to change the background until Brother Noor said I'm on now. I didn't even have time to change it. Should I change or can I just present immediately?
I think you can present immediately, inshallah. No worries.
Okay,
Okay.
because I thought it is 3:20 in Malaysia. So just like it was 3 o'clock. But never mind, I can present now.
Alhamdulillah. So without further ado, let us welcome Prof. Faridah with a presentation. The floor is yours, Prof.
Thank you very much. Okay, I hope you all can see the slide.
Yes, it's clear, Prof.
Okay, let me close this one on the left and I'm searching for the icon. Where is it? Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Oh no, hold on. Let me see the slide mode. Uh, hmm. What shall I press, Dr. Alina, to make it a full uh show? If I put current slide, I hope it's
Maybe
not.
the orange play button
Okay.
on
Is
the,
that okay?
yes.
Right, Alhamdulillah. All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good afternoon from Malaysia. First of all, I'd like to thank both Islamic Economic Academy, led by Brother Muhammad Noor, as well as Mick for having me here today. My topic today, I'm trying to relate with HR. The title is on globalization versus glocalization. So there'll be challenges in the human resource, especially in the area of halal. All right. I'm doing this paper with my assistant. Her name is Ainul Izati, and I'm with the WAIM, World Academy of Islamic Management, as well as AAGBS from University Technology Mara. So you can reach me, any one of you, from the email provided, as well as the WhatsApp phone number. Okay, before we begin, everyone need to understand what is the difference between globalization and localization, right? Sounds similar, but a slight difference there. Okay, when we talk about globalization, we are actually referring to the broader process of interconnectedness and interdependence among countries, economies, cultures, and societies. And when we touch on societies, we are actually handling the human resource. Okay, it's not only the customers, especially the halal customers, but also those who are working in the area of halal expertise, whether they are CEOs of halal companies or they may even be the halal, what do you call that? Expert or administrators in the company. Okay. Fira did mention that when we talk about globalization, we are looking into the lifestyle, the products and services like what we are doing in halal. Okay, we have product tourism, food, we have fashion, we also have pharmaceutical, and many others. And we look into the patterns of consumption because the whoever is in HR, they need to understand what the consumers wants and needs, and they have to decide that for the company. So it is very important to understand halal first, and then to understand what they can deliver to the consumers, to the halal consumers. And other than that, when we talk about globalization, we're looking into the cultural experiences across the globe. All right, we have 5 continents, excluding the Antarctica, but these 5 continents from east to west have all sorts of Muslims, culture, society, and many others. Okay, behavior, consumers' behavior that we need to address in order to deliver the products and services to them. So this cultural experiences is rich. For example, in Malaysia, we enjoy taking Nelson, we call it corn maze, with butter. But in Iran, they'll take it with tomato ketchup and also tomato chili tomato. So there's a difference in the perception here, yeah. So just like in Malaysia, we love to take things which are fried, but back in Iran or in Middle East, they love if it is grilled, and I think it's more healthier. Okay, let's move on. So we talk about the economic globalization, cultural globalization, as well as political globalization. So when we talk about economic, we touch base on the organization like MNC that are involved. Other than that will be FDI. Okay, it's very important that they know where they invest the money in various countries, whether Muslim countries or even countries in non-majority Muslim, but handling the halal goods and services. So we talk about culture, we are sharing about ideas, values, and cultural practices. And we talk about halal, we are talking about ethics, we are talking about good good food, healthy food, and many others. Okay. And when we talk about political globalization, this is the toughest part because you cannot take control in another country's politics. So normally globalization in politics, we look at the majority, but sometimes there's also maybe unfairness in certain ways. Yeah, but time and will I would say submit to the testing of it. Okay, coming back to HR, okay, especially in halal, take note that I highlighted two things over here. One, technology, because right now we are into digitalization. We need a lot of HR people, halal people in the IT side. Okay, and the other one would be partnerships, because when I talk about partnerships, whether we need a very good agreement between the Muslims and the non-Muslims and the Muslims plus the Muslims, okay? Because the global resources is everywhere. It's not within certain countries. If we have a good partnership, then the employability between the two countries will be good because both will benefit and the global resources will be shared, okay? And the market that they are going to distribute the products will also be shared. Okay, let's move on. Okay, other than that, the advantages or the pros of the globalization is that it allows developing countries to catch up with industrialized nation, because as we can see right now, industrialized nation, they have a very good factor of production, especially in manufacturing. So we need to understand the technology, and they also increase manufacturing, although before they were in labor intensive, but now with IT, digitalization, AI, the halal employees must also understand how to handle all this. So they have to equip themselves with IT knowledge, digitalization, e-commerce, and many others. Yeah. And because of that, there'll be improvement in standards of living. All right. Whether we like it or not, it will spill over. So this would result in the quantity and quality of material goods as well as services available to a given population, whether targeted in the most, like for example, Asian countries where the Muslims are, but this also will be available in other continents where the Muslim live. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you are in the non-Muslim countries, but the products and services can be offered and can be channeled to other parts of the world. Okay, as I mentioned, from east to west. Okay, the other pros that I would like to highlight over here, the pros, we have a larger market for goods and services that amounts to more employability, more labor, more jobs for these distributors, okay, and staff to market it. Second, economies of growth, okay, so with that also the halal market will be increasing. And the third one, increase the standard of living. So when we share technology, we share knowledge, our standard of living will also be improved. Let's go into the disadvantages. The disadvantages is when globalization concentrate their wealth and power in the hands of a small corporate elite. And when that happens, then there'll be a problem because there'll be monopoly. And we don't want that, okay, because we have 2 billion Muslim population around the world, across the board, and we want everybody to enjoy the wealth, okay? And so with that, you can see also some other concerns, which is also halal related, which is environmental degradation. We can't afford that because anything that is, not sustainable, there is environmental concern, then that is also considered as haram, okay, if it is mismanaged. Okay, the third one is where, okay, this is across the board. It need not be in halal only, but there'll be job displacement and wage stagnation. All right. So especially in countries that couldn't fight, for the labor cost, their labor wages and all that. Now, when it comes to halal, this is a different chapter altogether. Okay, I need to highlight to all of you that in halal, there can also be job displacement as well as wage stagnation when the employee are not able to get the job that they wanted. Okay, the company is not ready, or the company doesn't observe or recognize the halal expertise to reward them as they should be. So when that happens, it causes, I would say, displeasure among the employees, because they are expert, they are graduates in halal, and yet they're not being given the recognition, the wage that they should demand like many others, yeah, competitively. Okay, let's go into the challenges of the globalization for businesses. Number one, intense competition. So it will heighten competition from both domestic as well as international rivals. So if it is a healthy competition, both the international rivals and domestic will merge somewhere. But if the international rivals are better off than the domestic companies, then the domestic company will be at a loss. Okay, number two, supply chain disruptions. For example, they are disrupted because of natural disaster. You can't do anything about it, okay, in that particular country. Second, geopolitical conflicts because investors do not want to go to countries that have political problems, okay? They would rather stay away. They would rather go to a country that are safe, no political, I would say, changes, within a short period of time. Next, a country that is known to have trade disputes. And when that happens, a lot of laws are coming in and they have to fight. And the last one, okay, this is just another example. There may be more examples, but the recent one, which is a pandemic, imagine when that happens, okay? Halal business like tourism was out, and also many others, but food stays on, pharmaceutical products stays on, cosmetic, okay, wasn't in the good shape because people don't travel, they don't do up for themselves. But the social media as well as they call it the recreational media took part as something that is a positive impact on the pandemic during halal, okay, because of more information, more education. Okay then. Now, other than that, we go into the cultural and linguistic differences. If you are a company that wants to go into the global market, make sure you embrace their languages. Make sure you understand their culture. Try to embrace them. And the other one, understand the consumer preferences. That's why you need a local employee to work in these global companies, MNCs. Well, if it is so difficult, get married to a local in order to, ease your job over there. Okay, not a must, but I'm just giving you an example, if you happen to like that particular country. The last one is the ethical and social responsibility, which is the globalization that raises ethical and social responsibility, CSR. Okay. A lot of MNCs are contributing CSR to the host company, which is very good, okay, to make their presence felt and to be recognized by the locals. Now, other challenges would be the labor practices are different in different countries. The human rights needs to be addressed, okay, if they are very active. And as I mentioned earlier, environmental sustainability. This is the in thing right now. Everything is SDG. Study all the 17 SDG and make sure you address them. And the last one would be community engagement. This is very, very important, okay? So whatever you do, whatever company or labor force that you are engaged with, make sure the community understand and support the company. Other than that, there should be also another lookout for scrutiny from stakeholders. Stakeholders are people who have interest in your company, okay, and your employees. And consumers alike, they must be transparent, okay, in the way they do things and responsible in all the business practices across their operations. All right. So what are the examples to illustrate globalization in global business strategy? The most famous one, I think that you know, especially from Malaysia, would be Nestle. Because Nestle claim to be the biggest MNC companies, and they also have a halal center, okay, research center. They call it a center of excellence, whereby they make a lot of research and study on all the earlier requirements, the cultural, the social, and many others, in order to deliver a good product and services to their customers. Other than that, we have McDonald's. Everybody knows what McDonald's is all about until of late when we have this Gaza thing and everybody boycott McDonald's, Starbucks, all the franchise. So, okay, but what I would like to share over here is the importance of consistent service standards done across the board, across the globe, because of their labor standard SOP, standard operating procedures. So whether you're in United States or China or Brazil, okay, you can see the same menu, the same uniform, the same greetings, the same ambience. Okay, so that's important. Now, the localization of marketing and menus are also of interest because MNCs or franchises or even the globalized global companies, they try to suit the taste and preference in Muslim countries on halal requirement. Okay, and this is very important. So you can see like, you have a teriyaki burger to appeal to local palates in Japan, and in Malaysia, we also introduced nasi lemak. So like in India, they are very sensitive, the way they prepare the menu featuring chicken, fish, and vegetarian options. So of course, in countries that offer halal food, the employees would advise the company what to do and what not to do, especially when there's four mazhab involved. And other than that, they will be able to, they are the ears and eyes for the company to highlight that some of the things may not be halal in the host country. Other than that, we have the franchise model, such as in global expansion strategy, the company expand into new markets with halal local expertise and investment, meaning they have a good JV, and the local expertise will assist the FDI companies in order to invest well. And this would reduce the financial risk. Okay, these are the example of a globalization in strategy before they boycott Coca-Cola, right? Because of somebody accused it as it is from Israel. But the Zara company, okay, this is very interesting. Zara company is into modest fashion. Okay, and a lot of Muslim customers buy it because it's loose, it's baggy, it's modest, and they would, fit the attire which is Muslimah and Muslimin. Now, let's look into globalization. Okay, globalization is another term which is can be transferred from the word global, localization. So, in short, it is globalization. So, Robertson introduced it way back in 1995. Anyway, globalization emerged when a product or service developed and available globally, but it is also introduced in the local markets with required adjustments such as the social norms, such as the values, as well as the requirement. Okay, so example of globalization is automobile. Like in Malaysia, a lot of our technology are from Japan, and we also have a JV with Germany. So this to address of very good high technology, but localize it to the requirement of the Malaysian customers. For example, we are right-hander, compared to the Germans, they are left-hander and many others, like heater and many others. Okay. But if you say, okay, what's that got to do automobile with halal? Uh, there is an interest over there that all the fittings and fixtures in the car must be halal certified also, that because they want to make sure that the leather is halal, not from an haram animal and many others. Okay. So going global is necessary for multinational companies to gain trust and growth in the local companies. Then only they can become localized. But take note, in glocalization, foreign revenue will help the companies to decongest as they establish new branches and they open up at different geographical locations. Not only that, they also offer subsidiary companies or tender, or even they call it they call it like subsidiaries to assist in doing the full product. And they will also they provide employability and new jobs and new companies, okay, sub companies from the main MNCs. So you can see over here when it comes to food, you have Coca-Cola, Kellogg's, and many others, Cadbury, L'Oreal for the cosmetic and personal care, and even in the traveling and tourism, Emirates and many others, yeah, that already go into globalization, yet glocalization. Okay, benefits of globalization. So consumer prefers companies that provide services or products that meet local needs. Okay, that's number one. So second, you can also increase productive capacity of the economy. Foreign investment will help transfer technology, and that's very beneficial to the host company. Not only that, they also share knowledge, they also share the skills, and they improve the factors of production, because once the local learn from the foreigners, there's a lot of new things that they may understand, know how to do shortcuts in doing business. Okay, so that's very important. Next, better access to production. For example, competition from foreign companies accelerate improving product quality and lowering production costs based on their experience, and they will advise the local manufacturers on how to go about it. Next, we look into the employment and opportunities for the local workforce. For example, the company's strategy or requirements or the instruction of the destination by the country's government requires the local people to be employed to run the business locally. And I know Thailand is all into this. Okay, you want to set up a company in our company, set up a company in our country, you must make sure that you also give about half of it to the local people. So that's very good. So they create jobs opportunities for the local people, and this enhances and adds to the economic growth of the destination country or host country. Okay, next. So these are the examples that I've highlighted earlier. So in globalization, actually, you are focusing on the society, whereas glocalization, we are looking into the adaptation. Okay, the rest of it you can read, yeah? I'm going to conclusion now, Dr. Lina. So globalization and glocalization offer businesses numerous benefits. Number one, opportunities for innovation and growth, especially in the halal industry. Take note, I would consider halal market, halal industry, halal sector still emerging in certain countries. So especially in the non-Muslim countries who are involved in the halal business. Other than that, we are looking into cost efficiency, you're looking into the learning curve, you're looking into the knowledge transfer from the global to the local. We are looking into strategic partners long term, okay? We are looking into risk diversification. We are looking into enhanced competitive advantage as well as cultural exchange and also understanding. So with the global presence, we have the driven business growth, and we create value for stakeholders across the globe because they would understand better the objectives of the company. And finally, in recommendation, I would like to suggest that whether they are MNCs or the local companies, go for professional development because you can provide employees opportunities to achieve their career-related goals, especially in the halal sectors and also as an expert. And we have so many areas in halal that they can explore. It can be in the scientific research. It can be in the halal logistic. It can also be in nutromatics. It can many apart from the normal one: food, tourism, fashion, cosmetic, and many others. Other than that, secondly, it creates a win-win situation to the benefit of the worldwide ummah of 2 billion population in the sectors that I mentioned earlier, which is very common. And finally, we hope that the organization should benefit from the added skills and connections that the employees take advantage of the professional development program that are acquired, especially in halal, which is new to non-Muslim countries. And with that, Dr. Alina, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you, Prof. Faridah, for such an energetic presentation. Okay, so